Right now, I want to tell you about another big story tonight, potential severe storms. Take a look at that radar. Rain is moving into the area.
Tonight, some areas could see storms with damaging winds, heavy rain and hail. We have team coverage for you tonight.
Danielle Wiggins is in Richland County, where some schools were called off today because of the severe weather threat. But let's begin with the chief, who's here to break down everything you need to know if you're headed out the door tonight. Hi, Betsy.
Hi there, Russ and Laura. We are keeping a close eye on the next round of storms. I know we have rain and maybe a few rumbles coming through right now, but we are really keeping a close eye on storms that are over toward Indiana, down towards Cincinnati. Those are coming later on tonight. And the high-end risks, that high-end tornado risk that we were talking about last night and early this morning, we've backed that back just a little bit, which is totally fine. Basically, we've been able to breathe a little bit better this afternoon because the higher end conditions, all the different ingredients that really fire up those thunderstorms seem to have shifted south for now. We continue, though, to be under a flooding threat as we've had a lot of rain that's been coming through the area over the last 24 hours. Flash flood warnings continue for Tuscarawas, Carroll counties, points to the south. Lots of widespread standing water, lots of rising creeks and streams and rivers and ditches. Also, a flood watch remains in effect for Richland, Ashland, Wayne, Holmes, Stark, Tuscarawas, and Carroll counties through 11 o'clock tonight. And we have some river flood warnings sporadically around the area as we've just had a whole lot of drainage into those rivers, and we've seen the levels coming up. We right now have the heaviest rain in Medina County. We're even getting a few lightning strikes, and we've seen this uptick in the lightning just within the last 5 minutes or so. So this is brand new information. You can see these little dots that show up like that. That's basically a lightning strike that was picked up on radar. So from Litchfield to Chatham, over to Medina, down through Seville, Westfield Center getting some very heavy rain right now. This continues to move off to the northeast. This will move across I-71, impacting Medina up into Brunswick Hills, Sharon Township, Hinckley getting in on that action too. And generally speaking, we have to wait and see what happens with that next round that I just mentioned. And that's these thunderstorms. These are some powerful thunderstorms that are continuing to move to the northeast at about 60 miles per hour or so. And if we continue to watch these evolve, and if they hold together, we're talking about these getting up into portions of northeast Ohio here as we go over the next several hours. So Marion to Mansfield, Millersburg, Lorain, even Cleveland, that will start to move in over the next hour. So take it with a little bit of a grain of salt. These are moving at about 60 miles per hour or so, but we're going to keep a very close eye on all of this. Now, obviously, this round of rain is exacerbating the flooding problems and coming over areas where we had problems just a couple of weeks ago. Danielle Wiggins is right now reporting for us live in Richland County, where Danielle, they canceled schools today. That's nothing unusual outside of Northeast Ohio, but in Northeast Ohio, this is really the first district that I've seen that canceled in advance of severe summer type storms.
Right, Betsy, and we will get to those closures in just a minute. But right now, Betsy, the weather here in Mansfield near the Emergency Management Agency, it is gloomy, but that rain has held off. But as Betsy mentioned, just a little more than 2 weeks ago, the town of Plymouth in Richland County, which is just northwest of where we're at in Mansfield, they dealt with an EF2 tornado. So, you know, anytime they hear about severe weather, they are on alert. Now, according to the National Weather Service, the tornado was on the ground for slightly over 10 miles with winds estimated at 120 miles per hour. And just hours ago, I spoke to Rebecca Owens, director of the Richland County Emergency Management Agency. And although the risk for tornadoes this evening has moved out, Owens tells me Richland County is prepared whenever it does happen with 44 tornado sirens.
Those obviously are intended to be heard if you're outside. So if you're inside at 11 o'clock at night expecting to hear a tornado siren, you most likely will not. So have another means, whether that's a weather radio or on your cell phone, you know, to have some type of notification on weather alerts. That's the best thing to do. You know, don't count on one thing.
Now, Owens also says they are monitoring flooding across the county. As you know, Betsy said that we may be dealing with flooding here. Now, she says 4 road closures were in place earlier today due to the high waters. Those included Shelby, Gaines, Champion, and both London East and West Road. I am told that 2 of those roads have reopened right now. I'm just waiting to get clarification on which 2 they are. I will tweet that out at Danny Wiggins 6. But also, speaking of those school closures, now Madison Local and Mansfield City Schools, they decided to close today, Russ, because of expected severe weather here in Richland County.
Okay, Danielle Wiggins in Richland County. Thank you.
And now we want to talk about Logan County. The governor there, DeWine, visited the sites at Indian Lake, destroyed by a tornado that killed 3 people just last month. DeWine was joined by several state and local officials to provide an update on state funding that will help displaced residents find new homes and small businesses dealing with extra cleanup expenses. Just last week, FEMA toured several sites hit by tornadoes to see if the federal government will issue a disaster declaration.
Of course, 3 News will keep you weather ready all night long. Use the camera on your phone right there to scan that QR code to download our free WKYC app. There you can get the latest weather and news alerts, even if you lose power or Wi-Fi.